Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network. Coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, how you doing?
Cletus, I am doing fucking awesome. Look at that handsome devil in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Oh my God. It's good to be me, Cletus. How about
I
you?
thought you were referring to my avatar. Your screen must be inverted like the cameras in the Karen Reed case.
No
Fuck.
inversion here. No inversion. Oh man, what a world we live in, isn't it? And
It
this is
is.
look at
It is
here's
a
the best.
world.
Here's the best part about all of it, right? Is all of these cases that are fucked up, the part that's fucked up doesn't get paid attention to. And it's
Yep.
the fucking people that work for us.
Yep.
And so people would rather conspirize about whether Donna Reed did it or not. And yet, what's that got to do with the price of fucking tea in China? Who gives a fuck if she did it or not? Look at how the cops brought this case. That's the issue that I strongly have problems with. That's why I say I don't care if someone did it or not. That's really secondary. All I care about is your job, your presentation, the execution of your job, and then the bringing the person to court. And when it's all fucked up from the floor up, that's the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not whether Brian Koberger did it or not, or Karen Reed did it or not. When you look at all the fucked up stuff that these states and towns and prosecutors and police are doing, it's like, wow, how come that isn't the only story we talk about? How come we're not only out there searching for cases that mimic this, just to keep fucking reminding people how fucked up this country is?
Yeah, it's a situation where we just trust in things entirely too much, and the things that we pay attention to are of really no fucking consequence, right? I'll give you an example. The other day, there the municipality around here is wanting to put in new water lines, and the guy came to the house Monday to discuss appraisal for a new easement, and they had already put stakes throughout the fucking yard, and I had no idea what the hell they were for, so I yanked them up. And he came through, and we were talking, and I'm like, he's like, so has this company reached out to you? I'm like, no, you're the first motherfucker I've talked to. I was like, all your fucking stakes are laying over here. He was like, they're not mine. They belong to that company. And I'm like, well, I'm like, what is going on? And he started explaining it, and I said, well, who's funding this? And he said, well, this is money being used from the infrastructure bill. And I started laughing, and I'm thinking, okay, so we have a what $1.5 trillion infrastructure budget or bill that got passed. We've got companies hired to obtain the rights to easements, and instead of doing so, they come out and just stake their fucking claim, and then come back after the fact, going, "Oh, were you okay with this?" And I'm like, at the end of the day, why don't we pay attention to that, right? I'm not opposed to the purpose of the what they're spending the money on, but it's like the process and how much money is going to get fucking wasted in that process, and even that's going to end up being a fucked situation. And it's like, why do we not pay any attention to this? Why do we not pay any attention to that fucking cop sitting on the stand saying, "Well, it was my team," even though he's the lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just
Well,
argue about, well, I mean, this guy couldn't have done it. It makes no fucking sense. So she had to have done it. There's no other option.
in my criminal area, there's what they call no inspect fucking permits. So someone explain that to me. I need to
All right.
apply and pay you
Yep.
$100 for a permit, and you're not even going to inspect what I'm doing.
Yep.
What the
That
fuck is that? That's bribe.
it's
That to me is like bribery. That's like a shakedown. You're shaking the homeowner down.
yeah, it is. It's the more honest of the of the permits I'm used to, where they say, yeah, we'll inspect, but what they really do is send somebody out to fucking stamp the damn permit and say, okay, you're good, and not look
Right.
at a fucking thing. I've
Not in every
experienced
case.
that
So, I
several times.
mean, I'm sure there's several. There's a good share of people that get the stuff inspected. Don't you know what I mean?
No, I'm not I'm not doubting that the process exists and works and is valid and has good reason in a lot of places, but I also acknowledge the fact that there is a lot of it that is absolute bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's too much of it that's bullshit. That's I was saying it to Pam the other day. And I think I may have even said it online. You can't even trust getting an oil change anymore from
No.
common fucking idiots. They come to your vehicle with this plastic jug full of oil. How do I know that it's the top of the line synthetic oil for this $100 oil change? There's no identifying marker on it. Well, I took it from the barrel where someone put in marker what it was or put a sticker on the drum. But why am I even having to worry about that? That's the fucking worst part. I shouldn't even have to worry about that. If my car calls for 5W whatever synthetic blah blah blah, there should be no doubt in my mind that that's what you're going to put in my engine. But the world ain't like that. The world is so fucked up that even your oil changes, you got to sometimes, it just strikes you when he walks to your vehicle and he's got this big green fucking plastic jug that he poured oil into from a barrel. And you got to ask yourself, how do I know if that's right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the kind of world we live in. It's fucking crazy, man. I did a little work for a buddy of mine. He owed me $11.50. I did it at cost because he sent me so many jobs by referral. And he hands me money, and I take the money from him, and I go, "What's this?" He goes, "That's the $11.50." I go, "There ain't $11.50 here." He goes, "There certainly is." I said, "Al," I said, "Here," and I just handed her. I said, "Open it up and count it." And he flipped it open, and there were $450 there. He goes, "What the fuck?" He goes, "Wait, hang on," and he set it down on the table, ran to the house. He came out with his fucking box where he kept money, and he goes, "Yeah, look, the rest of it's sitting right here." And it was an accident. But I mean, I if it wasn't so light, I probably would not have caught it.
Yeah.
There ain't no way 4 or 5 bills makes $1,150. I don't care what denomination you're using, right? I mean, you ain't, and that's what I mean. I didn't even have to count it. It went from his hand to mine, and I put it right back in his hand. I go, "Al, there's something wrong here. There's only I don't even know what's there, but it ain't nowhere near 11.50." And the look on his face was kind of priceless because, yeah, he's a very honest guy. He would never screw me. And then he was embarrassed when he realized that when he took the money out of the fucking box, that the money had come apart. And, anyway, but that's okay. But when you go get an oil change, you got to go to the store and check all the fucking for sale dates. I mean, aren't they supposed to do that before you get there? I don't know.
Typically,
it's a shame that we have to live in such fucking uncertainty amongst ourselves. Worry about your kid at daycare, at school. I mean, we've really gone down the shitter. Well, what say you, Dago? How the hell are you?
I'm good, Sarge. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Oh, hey, Cletus.
What's happening?
Hold on. Almost forgot what you sounded like. I don't get to talk to you much anymore.
You ain't missing anything.
No. Hell no.
We call him Stinky Pinky now.
I don't really understand where the fuck that came from, but all right.
It rhymes. That's the only reason why I said it. Stinky Pinky.
I'm out of the loop. I have no idea about none of this stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to know where his pinky's been. But anyway, it's just kind of a stupid, because I am a troll and I'm still like a child. It's just who I am. I love it.
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking, I do scratch my ass, but my pinky's not quite big enough for that task.
Jesus Christ. Somebody help us. What's good, Dago? That's the name of the stream. What's good, Dago?
What's good, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And
the morning and the night.
That's it.
So far, that's all I can figure out.
How's the fam?
Everybody's doing all right. It's hotter than trying to stay cool.
Well, that should be a welcome thing when we live in areas where it gets very cold. I actually embrace the heat.
I don't mind the heat. It's the damn humidity. I can't stand that shit.
Well, you're a smoker, right?
That's why I can't stand it. Yes.
You want to know how to correct it so that you don't have an issue with the heat? I've already told you this before. Take Metamucil.
Yeah, I do take that now. Ever since you told me that.
2 pills a day. Take 2 pills a day, and you won't have any problems breathing or anything like that. Matter of fact, it'll shed a lot of weight. And that water that you're carrying is why you have a problem breathing when it's humid out, because people don't realize the weight that you carry is made out of water and carbon dioxide. And to show you that that's true, when you exercise, you do two key things. You sweat, which releases water, and you breathe to pump out carbon dioxide.
Right.
Fair enough. So those are the two things you want to concentrate on. But the water itself, people are surprised if the back in the day, all your diet pills were referred to as water pills.
Right.
That's in essence what they are. Right? Like, how does a boxer come into weigh at a championship fight, 162 pound class, and he weighs 166 pounds the day of the fight? How does he lose that 4 pounds in a day? And he does it through water loss.
A good point. Very good point.
But that Metamucil, that'll absolutely make everything way better. Especially, but I mean, I'm almost 60. I've been smoking for a minute, you know.
Right.
People are 90% shit and water, according to Heather Queen. That's not a very pleasant.
90% shit in water. Well, hey, I think some people are more 100% shit and no water, but hey, it is what it is. Good point, Heather.
Full moon, baby. Look at that.
Tonight?
Apparently, I don't know.
Oh, well, see what happens in Sebastian's case tonight then.
Yeah. Any updates? I mean, anything good? Any lead?
No.
Anything?
Nope. Not that I've seen. Cletus?
No, the only good that I will say is for a week and a half now, probably right at 10 days, if not 10 days, we have had no insertion of drama from a parental figure directly involved in the case.
That's awesome. What about the parental figures representatives? Are they still engaged, or have they vanished as well?
I haven't seen.
We don't want to say names and haunt ourselves.
I just knocked on wood, so
yeah, I haven't seen old Triple T in a minute. I don't know. It's been fairly quiet. The
scary quiet.
The surge of bullshit that's been, the little small surges have been just that, right? Obvious bullshit, even to the masses. So,
but that 10-day time limit is unique because it coincides with what we were doing here and how I sent that video out.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you caused it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, fucking A, of course I did. Who the fuck do you think gave consent for him to pull back?
You know that's how this works, Cletus.
Yeah.
Anything that happens on YouTube is related to whatever Sarge says.
Well, no. I'm connecting a specific 10-day time limit with an actual video and then a stream that actually kind of was harsh on set, but gave him good facts. Even Cletus participated in the live stream. So,
does anybody think there's any truth to the rumor that somebody was terminated from this? Terminated from being part of this.
Well, I mean, that was a major part of the advice that I had shelled out. we continued on this stream that he needed to get rid of everybody connected to him that was part of this. They were all out there doing more damage than good. And he needed to grow up and face his demons and put them behind him and look for his son earnestly without any of that chaos from the past haunting him and being the focus of discussion. Right?
Well, damn it, Sarge, you should have wrote these damn things in the very beginning, and we wouldn't have had to go through all the shit we went through.
Yeah, but that's Cletus's fault.
Oh, of course. Okay, sorry. Well, damn it, Cletus.
That's all right.
You know,
I'll own it. That's fine.
Well, he wasn't that specific on how quickly and how fast and how intense all of this circus was going to take off. Now he predicted it, but without enough specificity for me to perform an action.
Look, the fucking chicken bone throwing method is not an exact fucking science. All right, it gets you in the general direction you want to see, but that's about all you got. So
some hoodoo stuff. I get it.
Oh,
all right.
Well, I mean, okay. So eventually, 1 and 1 equals fucking 3, and I figured it out. For those of you that don't know that 1 and 1 equals 3, you've never fucked anybody and made a baby.
Well, I guess I must be a mathematician then, because I got 7. So shit.
Yeah, 1 and 1 makes fucking 9.
Right. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
It's that fucking Dago math.
It's gotta be
Dago math.
Gotta be. I mean, hey, Sarge is one of them too. So hey, it says it all.
Of that baby gangster, I need that picture. We got to get that from Fathead. Where is Fathead?
He's having his own show.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So what's good? Really, there's a lot of good things in the world, right?
We're all upright, breathing, sitting here talking. That's good.
Well, we all had food. It was easily obtained. We didn't have to go through any undue stress or worry about getting trampled by a herd of deer. I mean, whatever the fuck you're hunting, right?
Right. Yes.
I have
didn't have to come back
illumination
to your
in my
cave and-
home at dusk, and I didn't have to chop a fucking thing or ignite a fucking thing to make it happen. That's
right. We
good.
all got. You got lights in your house. You got air conditioning.
Yes. Yes,
Sure.
absolutely.
I mean, the world is good, right?
These are good things. Cletus, I called this morning, was talking, and Cletus wasn't having a bad day. That's a good thing. Hopefully that stayed that way all day, but I don't know.
No, it fucking shortly got ruined shortly after that, but that's okay. I won't blame you for it, Dega.
I'm sorry. I didn't. I was trying, bro. I know you've had a bad month.
Maybe we should remember some of these things that are good. You know, I think
Absolutely.
that's why we're all out here in different locations of the country talking like we're sitting right next to each other.
That's one of the most amazing things that I've always thought this whole internet thing was very, very cool for. We can talk to people on the other side of the world.
You know what else is good? We're 5 months from election day, and I have not once partaken in a fucking ounce of anything related to the election.
That's great.
Yep.
Same
the
here.
outcome of that's not going to change the outcome of where everything is going. It's our fault. Our inaction is what causes what we're seeing. What the hell would I seen the other day, or I just seen today something? It was so fucking simple yet enlightening that it almost made me fucking cry. Anyway, we'll get back to that another time. But it was fucking incredible. And you know what? I'm thinking about it. I did get going back to this idea that I'm a troll. I mean, the best part about that is the first place that I actually surfaced on social media where other people had any contact with me this way was on Skype, and I was part of a group called the Skype Assholes.
That's fitting.
And we would troll people, like in Palestine. Like if we were still a group, we'd be trolling those people over there, asking them why aren't you making fucking refrigerators and air conditioners instead of suicide vests? What else do you make over there besides fucking bombs? Do you make your own plates? Do you make your own carpets and your silverware? What the fuck do you people do over there all day?
Hey, I will not, I don't know about Palestine, but I will not take away from just ingenuity that exists amongst the Middle East in general, because I've worked with a few guys, and those motherfuckers, don't get it twisted, they are redneck to the fucking core. They just don't realize it till they come to the U.S. They will take a fucking they'll take some duct tape and fucking twine, and they'll make a car if they need to. They got no problem.
Go look at how industrious the Pakistanis are. Pakistanis, when it comes to engine overhauling and car repairs, and the creativity these fucking guys have, it's incredible.
A bunch of MacGyvers.
Yeah. But that's where we were, 100 years ago, 80 years ago. We were like that back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I think we could all
do what?
I was going to say, I think we could all still do that if we had to. The problem is everything is handed to us on a silver platter, and we don't have to do those things nowadays.
Well, the skill still exists.
Right.
It's not a lost art. I mean, there are still some of us out there that do that type of thing, right? Still still practice the art of fucking, hey boys, watch this.
Right. Watch, yeah.
But it's not a prominent craft, right? It's just not anymore.
I think most people pay to have everything in their homes fixed nowadays, including their vehicles, mostly because we can't fix cars anymore because of their fucking computers. I think for one, I fix everything in my own home. I don't call anybody in for nothing unless it's something even my damn furnace I've fixed. So yeah, I try to fix everything on my own because it's too expensive to hire somebody. But the convenience of that is what has brought that about, in my opinion. People don't want to do it. They'd rather call somebody.
But that's awesome. We shouldn't have to.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Yeah, I just don't want to. I like doing those things.
And look at what you learned from doing that, right? You'll never fucking unhook a cable without marking it again.
That's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. And I did learn that most power plugs that you plug into the wall all look the same goddamn same. Okay? So there's that too. So now I know how to mark them. But yes, Cletus, that's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that back.
I think too, we're also confused that we think the silver platter can be yanked away by those in charge. And you know what? There was something I was gonna present. Let me see.
I think that's part of the thing, Sarge, and I think that needs to be seen though. Like, let them take the fucking thing away. We can do it on our own, and people need to not be afraid of that. That's the problem.
Well, the silver platter is a matter of perspective, right? I mean, I can wake up in the morning with Clue and the fucking air in my lungs, and yeah, I got a silver platter.
In that sense, yes. In that sense, absolutely.
I can wake up with the things that I can attain or the things I have attained and consider that a silver platter. But if they went away, at the end of the day, I think my point is everybody's just got to consider what's essential.
That's
and
right.
How hard they have to work for that, and if they don't have to work hard for it, they have a silver platter.
All right. Well, we I got to get it up here. Things.
George.
Oh boy, these third world people are hard to deal with.
I don't complain about politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they suck. Yeah. Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something else sucks around here, like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. Secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around. I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote, and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who, in fact, did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year, you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. You'll enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately.
I miss that guy. Boy, I miss that guy.
Proof that Tommy Jude once made sense. Because he looks just fucking like him.
Right?
I've never fucking noticed that before, but he does look just like
hilarious.
Carlin.
I miss that dude. He was great.
Look at it. Tommy Jude makes sense. That was the pay he got from hourly wages. Okay?
Yeah. Well,
not the fucking not his smarts or his intelligence or his commitment to be fucking a good person.
You
Can you
can't look at
imagine?
George Carlin and not see the fucking similarities between the two.
Yeah, I
No,
can see
I
it.
see similarities in George Carlin's perspective and mine when I call it the 5.62 billion fucking morons out here.
Could you imagine if Carlin was around now, what he would think?
Oh, it would be exactly that skit over and over again.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going
Just
to say.
watch,
Yep.
you know.
And
Yeah,
then
so but what's good is you know, in spite of all of that, somehow we still we still keep our heads above water. And I've actually waged a war against my local birds without any harm coming to the birds at all with these fake owls that I put out there and wave my arms when they get near my pool. And don't I find a dead baby bird on the edge of my pool today?
oh.
Are they sending me a message like they did to that guy in the fucking movie with the horse's head?
Better not find one. You find one in your bed next to your pillow, you know it's on.
You know, well, they can't open doors at this point, but good God only knows where we're going with the chemicals we dump in the sky. But I'm thinking when I saw that, I was like, are they sending me a message? Well, I gotta call Vinny. What's happening here?
You're going to have to start getting in the pool with arm floats to make sure they don't fuck you up.
Exactly.
Have to put on have to wear a big ass hat with a big old 8-gallon fucking Texas hat or something.
Yeah.
7-gallon hats. Yeah, George Carlin was great. That's actually what I said I came across earlier. And then I didn't think I said, but it made my day in a way. I was like, yep, there you go, Georgie. I kind of agree.
Yeah, I miss him. I miss him and Robin Williams both. I used to love their stand up. Carlin made a lot of sense though. He should have ran for office. I swear he should have.
Yeah, but he knows it's a system that one person's just not going to fix it. That's what I've said to all. I've said to you guys should run for office. You're good people. Nah. All right, well then the fuck. Then why complain about the assholes that are in there? You know, I mean, and I've said that to not a lot of people, but I would say people like judges, decent people that could do the right thing and not worry about doing the right thing because that's just how they come across. Maybe 30 of them over the years, and all of them the same fucking thing. No, I ain't got time for that. Okay. We shouldn't be complaining about the people we elect, right? It's crazy, but who knows?
Well,
you never know.
it makes you wonder how many people. How many politicians or judges or attorneys or police officers or whatever? How many of them start off 100% good people? They're in it for the right reason, and they're turned once they become part of the mix, or do they start off that way?
Well, I think if people realize what happens when you're elected to Congress, your first 2-year term is spent raising money, and they're telling you who to call and giving you the phone numbers to acquaint yourself with those people that put the other people ahead of you in fucking positions that they're in. So you get groomed is what ends up happening. And a lot of times the grooming doesn't even seem like grooming. It's like these people are for the things you stand for. And they are. They certainly are.
Mm-hmm.
But they eventually groom you away from it because you need that election money to make those changes that your heart's telling you need to be changed. And it's so not in all cases, but I'd say in 95% of the cases, decent people get involved and then they're groomed. I mean, I think Rand Paul started out properly, but he got groomed. Marco Rubio, you could go to the other side. I'm sure even when Nancy Pelosi was elected,
that's where I disagree. I disagree.
Going to do what she is.
I disagree with the term groomed in that situation, right? Because I mean, if you venture down the road of public office, right, you should know what your limits are as an individual, right? You should know where your corruption lies. And you should fucking make sure that you stay aware of that at all time because every fucking one of us is corrupt in some way. We all inherently are fucking corrupt. I don't think it's a grooming as much as it is capitalizing on an individual's corruption, right? They people don't just do ignorant fucking shit for the purpose of doing ignorant fucking shit. They do it for a gain that they want, right?
Right, but initially the gain is that they're going to get reelected. They're going to get people behind them that support them. They're going to be able to expand their base. So they're
right, but at the end of the day,
they're still there thinking they're going to do the right thing. They're surrounded by people that are going to grab. It's like putting somebody in a pan and slowly bringing the water to a boil.
Yeah, but I think
some of the people that have been elected to Congress and what happens, the process that you're put through.
But that's where the inherent corruption lies, right? Is we all believe, or a lot of people will go into that situation, believe that they've got to be in that fucking pot with other people, and missing the fact that they're in their own fucking pot and have the choice to let other people in their pot or not.
Well, let me ask you a question, Cletus. So let's put you in that position, and I'm the guy that's in a position that I'm telling you grooms you, and you don't want to participate in any of this fundraising and in any of these different things that the Republican Party does to provide the funds that you are going to need to run for re-election in 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so those funds now are going to be used against someone we decide is going to play on our team, and we're going to primary your ass out. We're going to get you voted out. So
Yep.
what do you do? So here's the thing. They don't tell you that to your face, but that subtle undercurrent is there.
Mm-hmm.
And so
But that's
you think that by playing the game, listen, you think because you're a good person that by playing this game as little as you can to advance your agenda is the best thing for the people that you represent. And so
no, I don't play the game, right? I'll give you an example.
Well, then they get you out in 2 years.
Well, that's fine. I get out with my integrity. And I'll tell you how serious I take this, right? I was challenged with a situation of entering data just for the purpose of entering data that's bullshit. And I said no. And I was told, well, that's what a customer wants. And I said, well, then the fucking customer can find somebody else. And if that means I got to find another job, I got to find it. And that's, you know, I mean, it sounds like a hard-edged fucking way of being, but at the end of the fucking day, what's right is right.
Well, let me ask you something then. Okay, what you just answered the question in a sense that I was going to say, but if it comes down to you not having a job, no income, no way to support your family unless you do that, you're still going to do that?
And they're
Absolutely, because my integrity is more important than the money.
Okay.
So let me ask you it this way. So let me say I don't know who you were.
I respect that.
Let's just say that somebody has you give you a bunch of stuff and they just say go enter this into the computer. And there's no suggestion that it's being used for anything at all, good, bad, or indifferent. They just want you to enter to a computer, right? And would you question? Would your integrity then have any reason not to enter it in the computer?
If my job is literally just to take the data somebody hands me and enter it into the computer, no, because I'm doing my job. I'm not. My job isn't to question the data. It's just to put it.
There you go. And so that's how you get groomed. See, the problem with good people doing what you said is I'm the same way. I run my own company. I could fucking rob everybody I work for. I literally could. There's all kinds of shit I could claim needed to be fixed that there's no way you could go and double check what I'm doing and move on. Or when something legitimately needs to be fixed, I could whack the shit out of you. And there's nothing you're going to do about it because you need to get it fixed because your house isn't fucking opened up. You follow me? Mm-hmm. And I refuse to behave that way. I refuse to even play this corporate game that we're stuck in. The reason all your prices are high, folks, is because of the corporations that distribute it. The middlemen are doing it, not the makers of it. The makers are getting a little bit more, but they base inflation on the maker of the product, not the distribution of the product. And it's that middleman distributor that's screwing everybody, just screwing us. And I would never, and that's like I got a big company I buy from that was just bought out by a big corporation. It was privately owned. But anyway, so now I'm dealing with people in the corporate environment. And these people, they know, but they do everything they can to turn a blind eye to what they know this corporation is doing in this area. Because their job, their retirement, their kids, their house, their cars, all depend on them having this particular job.
Right.
So now what do? And this is how policemen get fucked. How a good cop turns into a fucking cop that just lets things slide, which makes him a bad cop, whether he wants to accept that for reality or not.
Absolutely.
Is that he's got that pension hung over his head. You got to go enforce the mask mandate.
But in every situation, in every example you're presenting, it's a situation where there is a challenge to right and wrong that you're completely aware of, and you choose to go the wrong way because of ulterior motives, right? You're the retirement. You don't want to go the wrong way because you're worried about your retirement. You're worried about this or that. And at the end of the day, that's the problem, right? Is it comes down to integrity. If everybody put integrity first in situations, a lot of the bullshit would go away, right?
Right. No, that's what I mean. I have integrity when I do business with others. Matter of fact, I guarantee you that I'm one of the few. I'm the only person in the construction industry that I know of that never takes your money until that project is fully complete. And I don't mean the last nail was driven, okay, and the ladders are on your gut. I mean fucking done. It's like I was never there, but the project you hired me for is finished.
I will say I've never heard of that before you. That's true.
And I've never, ever, ever, ever struggled or not been paid. Okay. And in a few times, maybe twice or three times over the years, someone tried to be a little stupid. But in every case, it turned out that they had some fucking other issue in their life and they were trying to fucking direct it at me, make their problems mine. And I corrected it very quickly. So of the issues I've had, millions and millions and millions of dollars of transactions, I've never had a hard time. So, I mean, and generally people will do the right thing when the example is there to be followed. That's why I keep saying, and you and I butt heads a little bit, Cletus, about a leader. That ain't me. I'm a good idea man, but I'm not the guy that can execute the fucking the position of spreading it and encouraging and getting people on board. I'm more apt to tell you you're a dumb fuck.
Well, and
go on to the next person.
I think what you just said is exactly my point in the whole leader thing, right? A leader, and if you were a leader in today's world, you got to punch everybody in the fucking face.
Oh yeah.
Whereas if you get everybody behind that leader to wake the fuck up, then their job is to kick them in the ass.
Bingo.
And it's a lot easier to kick somebody in the ass, and it's a lot safer to kick somebody in the ass than it is to punch them in the face, because you can run the fuck away before they turn around.
The thing is, and that's what I keep trying to say to people, is this is about us.
Yeah.
None of your problems in politics and none of your world affairs that are issues, none of that could exist if we stood up as a group and spoke our mind and then put our money where our mouth is.
Yeah.
As a group of people with the power. And there was another one. The one I saved was some guy pointing out that the Goliath that we're pitted against is just a few % of the population. We massively outnumber these people. And so, so Elon Musk might be worth, who cares? We'll say 500 billion. I don't know the number. And a few other guys might be worth 100 billion, 200. I don't know the number. I don't give a fuck. But their money pales in comparison. And the only reason they have it is because there's so many of us fucking gerbils out here buying their shit. Fair enough?
Yeah.
And so you do have the economic might. A nuclear weapon is nearly as powerful as what we, the people, could do as a team in straightening out the chaos in this fucking world. And this is everything. Everything. Illegal immigration, you want to solve that? Go after all the companies and corporations that enable the government to move these people around the country and pay them with your tax money to do it. Start exposing them. Start exporting their board of directors. Start doing background checks on them. You got a problem with Budweiser? Don't go after the beer. Go after the people that started the problem you have an issue with. Start tearing them down and putting them on the fucking hot seat and making topics focused simply on their corruption. And yet, it's almost as if you listen to all of these big talking heads like, I am not a fucking genius, but compared to these stupid motherfuckers, I got to be like a couple of steps away from Christ. What the fuck? Him and I are related directly somehow.
That was good.
Now,
Wow.
I'm just saying, I'm just some fucking jerk off that lives in fucking New York. I'm nobody special. Listen. How the fuck do these people with 20 million followers not understand they really have the ability to bring hope and fucking change to the world? And what do? They talk about the daily propaganda. That's it. What good is that? I don't need to know what Putin did last night.
That's what brings the money. That's why.
But the other way, more money would come in. This is the part that shocks me, is that doing the right thing always provides a bigger reward, period.
Of course.
Okay. That's all that needs to be said, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, Rachel Maddow, all you fucks out there with talking heads, all of you. The fucking Tonight Show, the fucking Saturday Night Live actors and show, all you stupid motherfuckers shouldn't be huddled around the few people that control a massive amount of wealth. You should be huddled around the people that don't have that wealth. but combined they have the wealth. That's the only reason actors are wealthy. It's because so many of us minions pay to go see their fucking movies. Why does a football guy make so much money? Because hundreds of fucking thousands of people are coming to pay for millions of people for tickets to watch him. That's why he gets a portion of them ticket sales. My point is that the numbers game we have down fucking pat. We own the numbers. And there's no one out there pointing this shit out to people. There's no one out there trying to get people to realize that, yeah, you the people could stop the immigration. I'm waiting for Sergeant to ask why. What am I going to ask why about?
Clue asked, why does Miss Piggy douche with honey? I don't even know.
Look, I don't even want to know why Miss Piggy douches with honey. And the fact that you're privy to that information is quite fucking sus to me.
I'm not surprised.
So what is it? What why does she douche with honey? You know, you do have a microphone in the same fucking house you're in.
Yeah, but hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Yeah. The Queen of Moderation, Clue Minotti. God only knows. Anyway, Dago, you see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you guys and a few streamers, and I think many people get the point that I'm making. It's just,
of course,
I don't think that I have enough life left in me to get the kind of following a lot of these people have that are in a position right now at this very moment.
Oh, I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody
to take a position.
Well, you'd be surprised how quick an unknown can become known when they challenge the right person in the right way.
Yeah, I've come to that conclusion recently. I'm a
nobody. Maybe. So what, you guys got any clues? Who should I challenge? Who should we challenge? Who should do the challenging, and against what target?
I would suggest challenging somebody a little, I think continuing to challenge people like Tucker Carlson and anybody big, but also some people that are, halfway.
I got one.
All right.
Russell Brand.
All right.
And the reason he would be a great target is because he comes off as malleable, and he was a staunch left-wing fucking lunatic, but he's malleable almost to the center, but not quite. And he responds to scrutiny.
Yeah.
He responds to attacks. They just allege that he did inappropriate things with women. And he's like, I was a drug addict. I'm sure I did. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody was trying to get in the guy's pants. The guy is just that kind of a guy. He's got the looks. He's got the personality. He's got all the things that you need to be a woman slayer. He has. So, yeah, I think maybe we'll start to target Russell Brand, and maybe we ought to do something. Maybe I'll do a message to Russell Brand.
Yeah,
messages seem to work.
All righty then.
You got to find somebody that'll respond to trolls.
Yeah.
You calling me a troll again?
I'm calling you a fucking.
You gotta let it go.
You got a troll with the voice of reason, all combined in one location. So yeah, what more powerful of a fucking way to get into somebody's head?
I really think that's why I got put out of my house as a kid. Now that I look back on my life,
does he really respond to people?
Well, he definitely responds to criticisms, and if people, especially if more than one person starts saying something, sure,
yeah. Well,
yeah, but I think Russell Brand, Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, they control or they've got the attention of a lot of middle of the road decent people, right? Whether they go to church or not, they got a big crowd of people, and those people have a massive economic might. And yeah.
What about that other
like a fucking hammer, like Thor's hammer?
What about that other dipshit with the big mouth with the cigars? And he's got a brother that does the same damn thing. Oh, what the fuck is his name?
Dana White?
No, he's a. Oh shit! Somebody help me here. He's an ass. He's really piggish towards women. He teaches men how to be a certain way and shit. I can't think of what his name is, but he's always online. Him and his brother both screaming and yelling at people for shit. I can't think of his name.
Sorry, you had a brother?
I might, man. I was giving away birth. I don't know what fucking what my my mother spawned before or after me. I have no idea. God only knows. There can't be many more trolls like me out there. That would be terrible. Well, actually, it might be a good thing. Yeah, find their names out. Let's see who they are.
What the hell is that dude's name? I can't think of his name. Shit.
Yeah, you have a mental block.
I had it on the tip of my tongue earlier when you guys were talking, and it's gone now.
Did anybody see anything in the Karen Reed case today? Did any more humiliation get heaped upon the state?
I haven't watched any of it. I don't even know what's going on with that one.
Dude, it's fucking makes the Idaho 4 look like a fucking
really
by the book fucking yeah.
So who's looking the worst right now in that then?
The state is all fucked up.
Oh, really?
Oh my god.
Wow. That's it. Yes, never. Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, Andrew Tate. Yeah,
I'll give you a 30-second synopsis that I'll recall from memory based on a couple hours of conversation Sarge and I have had about the Karen Reed case. So you've got surveillance video showing the car, but in an inverted image.
All right.
You've got a lead investigator who, when challenged with why he didn't do certain things, he blames his team. So there you go. Those are the two big things that I remember that make me go, what in the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and it gets worse than that. You got a guy that's supposed to be a crime scene investigator that doesn't even understand the physics behind a body that gets hit by a vehicle. The mass hit. Anyways, these people are idiots. And Dago, they're claiming the impact was a side swipe.
Oh yeah.
And if
wait. They're saying it was a side swipe now?
Yeah,
they're saying he strong-armed the fucking
that.
car coming at him at 28 miles an hour in reverse and did not break a bone or suffer one bruise.
7,300-pound fucking truck hit the guy at 24.5 miles an hour, but sideswiped him. But listen to this. It gets worse. It gets worse.
No.
Listen, put your arm straight out in front of you. And then turn it so that when you raise your arm now, your hand is in the air. Right? So your arm looks like an L.
Yep.
Yeah. They claimed that his arm was in that position, and that's what the truck hit. The arm. That then spun him around, and somehow he landed 30 feet from the impact. That's what the crime scene investigators telling us. That's how the marks got on his arm.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
So he was being asked, how do you impart that much force into an arm that you don't break, that you don't bruise, and the guy ends up 30 feet away? He flew 30 feet, and the guy kept getting mad. I didn't say fly. I said projected. He goes projected, flew, same thing.
Okay, so how fast? 20 miles an hour, right?
24 and a half.
24.5 miles an hour specifically.
From a dead stop, she was that, okay.
And 60 feet. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't see that as being unreasonable.
I do.
Unless your car's gear ratio in reverse is much, much deeper than it is in drive.
Unless she floored it, backed up, and went to hit the brake, and it slid sideways because of the snow. That's the only thing I can see making any sense.
Well, look, they said they hit him, they sideswiped him, hitting his arm. His hand was up by his, like head level, and his arm was straight out from his body. They hit that arm, and somehow that impact, not only did it throw him 30 feet, but both the glass and the cell phone were found with his body. The cell phone under it, the glass right next to it, which says to you that those items were probably in his hands. The glass they found on the bumper does not belong to the glass that he possessed. So this case is so fucked up. It's just like the Brian Kohlberger case.
That's insanity. That doesn't make any sense at all. Because here's the thing: if that was the impact that he with hold on, whoa, okay, good God, reset, Jesus Christ! If that was the impact that his body took, and he was holding both of those items in his hand, went that far, those items would be nowhere near his body. I'm sorry, they'd probably go in two different directions. away from him, as far away from him as they could be.
Or they could have got knocked out of his hands immediately and fell where he got hit and been in that area. Could have, but my point is,
Right there, yes. But
when
that
you look
doesn't
at the
make any
description of
sense.
this crime scene, it's the most hellacious, ridiculous, fucking stupid thing you've ever heard in your life. The guy got his arm he got sideswiped, it got backed into his arm, it spun him around before it placed him 30 feet from where he was hit. How does the energy of hitting someone's arm, I don't give a fuck if it's 80 miles an hour. How does the energy of hitting an arm that's out away from the torso cause that? You didn't break any ribs. There's no bruises on the rib cage. There's no broken bones. There's no broken arm bones, shoulders, collar, nothing.
That doesn't make any sense.
175-pound man ended up 30 feet away from that impact, and it killed him.
No,
come on,
no.
Man.
I'm sorry, but no. And they're on top of the fact that his phone was underneath him. That makes no sense to me either. I'm sorry.
And then you look at the investigator's testimony. They didn't save evidence. People that had contravening information weren't interviewed for 16 to 18 months after the crime. Some of them, one of them 22 months later. The blood that they found on his clothing, only one single source of male DNA on his clothing could be identified to him. All the other blood was mixed. It was mixed DNA. It wasn't just his. It was other people's. And with his blood on his fucking clothing.
Do they have who the rest of the blood belonged to?
No, they don't.
What the okay. Damn it, Sarge. I did not want to follow this case.
You gotta follow the case, bro.
Now I have
Go to uncivil law. Go to uncivil law and look at some of his 10 or 13-minute videos. He's a fucking. He said the other day he lifted 23,000 pounds, and he did, but it was in reps, much smaller weights.
Unbelievable shit.
Holy
fuck to me.
Right, So anyway, the case is fucked up from the floor up. The item.
Let me ask you real quick. What do you think happened in your opinion? I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even care. That's the fucked up thing that separates me from the rest of you guys. I know
that. I know.
I don't give a fuck what happened to the guy or who did what did what. What I care about is your allegations have to make some fucking sense. How is it that one of the guys that's a cop that had a problem with this guy that's dead, okay, had a problem with him over Karen Reed, some kind of fucking inner jealousy. Listen, that guy on that night invited the guy that's dead to the house that he was found dead at.
Of course. Yeah, I know that.
That was never investigated. I'm just saying, it looks to me like they're covering up. If I had to guess,
I've said that already.
An altercation took place, and this gentleman ended up fucking getting a bad deal of it, and they didn't intend to kill him. Maybe he fell down the fucking stairs, something, and then they put him outside.
Do you think the dog was involved?
Pardon?
Do you think this dog was involved?
It's possible based on the scratches, but nobody examined the scratches to know. But I can't see how you could scratch into someone's arm that's wearing a fucking outerwear. He had fucking clothes on. He had a jacket on, I think. Right?
Well, if somebody tells this dog to attack.
No, but was that jacket put on him after he was dead and they brought him outside?
It very well could have been to make it look like what it was. You see what I'm saying?
I think he got hit by a fucking snowplow.
I honestly think that too. I was just going to
say. Well, that was the other part. I didn't bring that up yet, but that was the other side.
I mean, that to me is the most likely. And I've spent one day looking at this and 2 hours talking about it with Sarge. In fairness, but just looking at it, looking at the wounds, and hearing the gist of the story. I think he was fucking drunk. Probably walked out to fucking leave, and got hit.
And what about the snowplow driver?
What about him? They didn't fucking talk to him until what?
Well, they argued that there was nobody plowed that road.
That's what I'm saying. Like, considering that on top of it, I'm like,
And this cop's concerned that he didn't want to question his fellow policemen because he's concerned that they probably had something to do with it. And he directed the case in a whole different way. And if he'd have just done his job, what Cletus is saying probably would have been uncovered.
Right.
that in fact that what they're seeing there was an accidental strike by a snowplow because it was a fucking blizzard.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And the guy probably didn't even know he hit somebody. I mean, I don't know how many people have driven plows.
Well, they blast mailboxes and all sorts of shit with that thing. They don't see what they're doing. You know,
I was with a guy that we would plow parking lots for Kmart and places like that when Kmart was a thing.
Yeah.
And they literally plowed and lifted and set a fucking a Chevy Chevette into a snowdrift and only knew after they backed away that they had done that.
Yep.
They had no idea that pile of snow was fucking burying a Chevy Chevette. Those loaders, those machines, those big plow trucks that are road trucks that are out there on the street,
right?
Big giant dump trucks, right? That are weighed down with salt. Them fucking things weigh enough that if the outside of the blade I could see causing those injuries to his arm,
mm-hmm.
and I could see it causing a facial injury if he snapped forward or whatever, and his face hit the fucking plow, or his face hit the light of the plow light would be right head fucking. But then again, too, you would wonder, why aren't there any fucking broken bones here?
That's the other thing. I don't even being hit by it. Well, maybe the snow protected him from that.
Well, I mean, in fairness, when you're fucking hammered and get into a car, you know, drunk people that wreck a fucking vehicle walk away uninjured a lot.
It happens every time. Yes, sir.
So, I mean, in fairness, I think it's the simplest and most likely explanation that doesn't require anything nefarious to have happened other than a fucking accident, right?
Then why do you think they're going after Karen then?
Because I think what Sarge said and what he's pointed out based on the shit that's come out in testimony makes complete fucking sense. They obviously they purposely avoided questioning certain fucking people.
Yeah.
And, that looks suspicious as fuck. But when you think about it, if they thought that there could be a problem and therefore purposely avoided questioning them, they missed the forest for the fucking trees because they were too fucking afraid of the truth.
Right.
Gotcha. That makes sense. It does.
Right. They circle the wagons, and so these people may have had nothing to do with it, but what they did by circling the wagons is make them look intimately involved. So their act of trying to protect fellow law enforcement, in fact, makes fellow law enforcement look fucking guilty. And the fact that they could not ascribe correctly their description of the scene and the results that they provided to Karen Reed, that they inverted pictures, that one cop fucking not just deleted his phone, but he copied the text messages he wanted the chief investigator to see and then used an FBI fucking machine to erase that phone and then smash the phone, smash the SIM card, and then went on a military base and put the phone and the SIM card in two different dumpsters.
And I mean, in fairness, in what I remember of the PCA, if the storyline based on the statements in the timeline of Karen Reed's movements and actions is accurate and can be documented and shown to be accurate, she looks suspicious as fuck. But that doesn't mean she's guilty of a damn thing.
Right. None of those police people in that house, I think Cletus's explanation is the simplest and the most likely.
Yeah.
This man was inebriated and he got hit by a plow and the driver didn't even know it.
Occam's razor.
Well, and I mean, to me, until that can be disproven,
right,
then, why the fuck look anywhere else? I mean, that's just kind of how I see it. Why
has anybody even remotely touched on that?
Do what?
Has anybody within the trial even remotely touched on that yet?
Oh, it's obvious the jury's hearing it this way. Of course, that the corruption is just insane.
Okay.
I mean, they found taillight fucking lenses.
Yeah.
Long after, that scene had been investigated.
Right.
After they had collected her vehicle, after that vehicle was driven fucking 30 miles to wherever it had been and 30 miles back in a blizzard on the back of a flatbed, and all in a little particle, a hair stuck to the vehicle the whole way.
Yeah, right. In a blizzard. Yeah,
now,
it's obvious.
Had they known, here's the other thing too, is the lead investigator or one of the main guys didn't know for quite some time that a snowplow had been there that morning. He said he was under the impression that the snowplow were only doing main roads, not neighborhoods.
Okay.
So he never even looked for a fucking driver. He never even questioned a snowplow driver for I think a couple of weeks. or maybe longer before we even realized there was a snowplow on that road that night.
Interesting.
That would be consistent with the time of the accident there.
Well, guys, looks like I'm going to have to start looking into that one then next.
And I really, that's what I mean by tunnel vision. And these police, they rarely around. Now, maybe the police in the house had something to do with beating the guy up. And the guy, like Cletus is saying, is drunk and he ended up outside.
Yeah.
And got hit by the snowplow and as the end of him, possibly. What
Well,
do you think, Cletus?
It could also be.
That's awesome. I knew he was going to do that. I was setting him up to hang up on his ass. They go, he got me.
Well, oh, did he do? Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been getting them. I've been on a streak. I've been getting them.
Nice. And, nice. Yeah, I'm live tonight, guys.
That's too fucking. But anyway, I think there's a whole litany of bullshit in that case that makes it worth watching. And yet, you know, people still want, well, what do you think happened? Who do you think did? I don't. That's why I say I don't give a fuck.
Now I know I know what you pay attention to, and it ain't the guilt of who is guilt or not guilt. It's how they get to the people and what the the politics of what's going on within the case. And that's why I've always liked what you have to say about these things. So
and then later you'll find out the truth or you won't. But trying to argue about who did it, how it happened, when it's just, to me, there's no fact to base any kind of solid conclusion on. When you watch the testimony of these cops, and uncivil law, folks, I don't know the guy. I've never even said hello in his chat room or posted a comment. But I do like watching the stuff that he puts out in some cases when it comes, especially to the Karen Reed case.
What's his name?
So, uncivil law.
I'll have to check it out because I've had multiple people hit me now about this case. I covered it in the very beginning and talked about how that all went down and this and that. And I eventually thought I would get back to it. I just never did, but I guess I'm going to have to now.
Yeah, it's worth looking at. There's also another case in Florida. Some guy that killed two adults claiming that they had killed the two children. And they were found in the bonfire. You brought that up. That's also an interesting case.
I am following that one. I've been covering that little by little. So yeah.
Anything cool on that or no?
I mean, not really. The guy that did it, as it was trying to claim that he believes, well, not that he believes, he claimed that the two adults that he killed their own children, and they started the fire and they were doing all that, so on and so forth. But I don't believe that. That's where that went, and we'll see what happens with it. But I think he did it all. I'm just trying to figure out motive for it. And the basis of it was over rent. Like, you owe me rent. Mm-hmm. And to do all that just doesn't make sense to me. There's something else behind it, I think.
Yeah, but you can't, that's the other thing too, is our level of understanding reactions of people, we're not that kind of a person. So there's no way we can see how someone goes from not paying rent to killing 4 people.
That's true too. I mean, there could have been something else.
I can see how that would cause someone to do that.
It would make somebody angry, but to go that far with 2 children too, like unless there's something else wrong with the guy, which could be, mental health is a
little bit of drugs, or you got anger issues, or there's a lot of things. You could have some fucking multiple fucking personality fucking.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
So this guy just happened to be someone that you're going to kick me out for not paying rent. Well, go fuck yourselves and throw him in the barbecue grill. I don't know.
I agree.
It's a little bit extreme for being late on your rent, but whatever floats your fucking boat.
That's what I mean. I mean, and then you also have.
Dago tried to get cute and he hung up on me. Oh, that's too funny. But just so you folks know, I knew when it was 10 o'clock and I kind of just let it ride. And I was giving them both a chance to get the hell out of here before I hung up on them because, even though Sarge is just a few steps from, I won't mention any, I don't want to name drop. I knew what they were going to do and I just figured I'd let them have their night. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take one for the team, folks. In any event, this has been a wonderful stream, I guess. I think, maybe, who knows? Everybody be good. Stay out of trouble. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your co-host, Cletus Stinky Pinky.